Alright, this is going to be the Florida 32-ounce challenge. Have a very inexpensive clipper lighter. These are amazing. Flint, reflintable, refillable. They're like $2, and this has a picture of Alice in Wonderland on it. It's like Alice talking to the caterpillar. Who are you? If you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? Alright, so Lane Crown Achievement. Star with a circle. Good shit. And I've packed half my bowl with it. I hope I dunked my radio. I hope it still works. Hurricane. Alright, well, Florida 32-ounce, thanks again for your amazing generosity. I think that receiving packages from the YouTube drinking community, delightful. I need to get. I was thinking actually of getting a mailing station. I've been saving boxes and addresses and packing supplies and sometimes actually I'm like, these little quirky little things I really like a lot. I'm like, well, every time I see one of these, I'll just grab one and then throw it in a box, and then eventually I'll write somebody's name on it. But anyway, let's find this Lane Crown Achievement. See if it's really good shit. Oh, that's interesting. It has that kind of like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's different than normal. It has that kind of greasy sensation in the mouth that bee just got right next to my ear. That chocolate, I can't remember the name of it. I saved the bag. That chocolate stuff was really good. Actually, I just moved some tacks to the shed so that actually I could start thumbtacking things on the wall that I appreciate. Remind me to go do something about it. Oh man. Last night, I believe in my front yard there was an owl. I was kind of beside myself with joy. Why don't we smoke and have a topic? One of my acquaintances, I don't know them very well at all, but they said they feel like they're too much sometimes. And it was a Facebook quote, and they actually had a link to an article about this woman that felt like she was too much. And I've made videos about this kind of topic in the past, but like people that just kind of overwhelm you. And unfortunately, it seems to me, now that's a reptilian flyover. It's a pterodactyl, folks. Now it seems to me these people seek out introverts to talk to. Because here's the thing, I know a couple people that are too much, and they avoid each other because they both need to just open up their mouth and let flow. And they can't do that together because they'd be talking over one another. So I replied to my friend about like, you are designed to talk to introverts. You have lots to say. Introverts will listen and pay attention and think about what you say. But you can't abuse that. Introverts don't want to hear about like the 18 things you're thinking about. Introverts want to hear maybe 1 or 2 things you're thinking about. Get a lot of introvert friends, realize how they process information, sit down and say, you know what, I've really been feeling this about anxiety. We'll talk about anxiety for a couple hours if you like. I won't listen to you talk non-stop for a couple hours though. I won't even know what you've said afterwards. That barbecue party I had at my house, it was 3 days later I was still remembering things that had taken place and laughing about it because that was a great time. You know, I sympathize with people who have a lot to say. It's part of why I make YouTube videos. But that would be my suggestion. It's like I try to minimize my impact on other people as much as I can. And even as much as I can isn't going to cut it, you know? Like I always have to modify what I'm doing because people react. I have to pay attention to how people react. My neighbors complain about my weeds in my front yard. I don't think, hey, fuck you, man. When those weeds get over 10 inches tall, come talk to me. I'm like, all right, I'll go out there and weed my yard. You have to make allowances. And this might seem unkind, but the only reason I could think of to talk nonstop for hours without any kind of interruption is because you're trying not to think about something else. Like I'm gonna distract myself as much as possible talking about like my hair and my job and whatever food and what I want to do tomorrow and relationships and your car and your clothing and something that happened last week with infinite detail. I really think you're trying not to think. I really think that you're trying not to think and talk about what's really bothering you. Something that you can't deal with, perhaps, or don't think you could deal with. See, I used to know this person that seemed really angry to me. And if you asked them if they were an angry person, they would vehemently deny it. But I once asked them about something. It was right when I met them. Like we arrived at a bar right as it opened, and I asked them, about something in particular I knew was important to them. And they talked for 2 solid hours with absolutely no response from me. And it was just they were angry. Honey, you could look around. It's okay. You could look around. They got on like this anger rant and just kept going and going and going and going. I think they would have gone for more than 2 hours, except I stopped them and asked them, do you remember the last thing I said? And they couldn't, and I encouraged them, and eventually we slowly worked it back to like, hi, how did that go? Which was right as the bar opened, 2 hours ago. Honey, go look around. All right, I guess I gotta entertain Akila. He's not having it.